Howdy, rock stars. It's Sunday, meal prep day for moi. So I'm going to be going down and picking up some salmon and maple syrup and some curry. And we're going to put together a little delicious recipe for you guys. And I'm going through the feed, and I find it really interesting that the words people use to describe themselves and the situations they're in have a huge impact on how well those people manage things and how well they deal with stress. So, in one of the benefits of being a trainer is that I can see I've got over 50 people training with me, and some people just miraculously have really crazy they're always talking about how insanely busy they are, and how stressful things are, and how chaotic, and my week was horrible, it was just awful. And it's like, really? Well, what was awful about it? It's like, oh, and then, really, guys, like, having served in the army for 10 years, white people problems, I'm not sympathetic of. Sorry. Like, you could choose to become stressed out and overwhelmed by anything. And so what I find is that, I have clients that they start training, and they're going through just as much shit. I mean, everybody's busy, okay? Like, so I'm not trying to be unsympathetic, okay? I'm not trying to give people shit. I just want people to maybe reframe their thinking a bit, because the things are going to happen. Bad things are going to happen to everybody, and things are never going to go according to plan. I can't remember one day that I woke up and thought, had my plan, and then my plan made contact with reality and went to shit. That's what happens, right? Unless you're in that show. What was that show about all those people from Jersey, all those douchebags? Jersey Shore? Yeah, Jersey Shore. Unless you're in that show, and did you notice those people had absolutely no fucking problems in their lives at all, but they still found a way to have stress and drama? Why do you think that is? Because we tend to seek out that with which we are familiar. So if you are chronically stressed, and you've, for whatever reason, whether it was environmental factors, whether it was your own genetics, whether it was your upbringing, or whether it was the people you choose to surround yourself with, if you've gotten to the point where you feel stressed out and anxious and depressed, and you just feel overwhelmed all the time. And that's the other thing too, is people are always minimizing or marginalizing this thing. They're always saying, well, this week was really bad. And it's like, really? This week? What about last week? What was last week like? Because if you're unhealthy, right, and you're looking to change things, well, that implies that you're unhappy with certain things. And those things you haven't changed up till this point. So why haven't you changed them? Well, because the last life of my life has been really crazy. So, one, when you speak, you can make a decision to say something positive or to say something negative in any situation. And a really interesting book, Viktor Frankl, that guy was a psych prof who went through Auschwitz. Okay? So he knows a thing or two about having a bad day. Okay? Like, bad day, like, am I going to go into a gas chamber today or not? Am I going to be able to eat at all today? So, you guys, one, white people problems are not fucking problems. Okay? They're not. You're not going to die. No one you love is about to die. Those are problems. Okay? So So my point is that when you speak, you can choose your words. And the words you use will determine how you feel about what happened. And you could say, you know, and I'm not trying to criticize anyone, guys, because the other problem with people that do this is they get incredibly defensive about why they're doing it because they're afraid and they're very vulnerable. And I can empathize with that completely. So please understand that I care about each and every one of you. Otherwise, I wouldn't be taking the time to do a 10-minute video on a Sunday. And I want you to do better. You know, and sometimes that means I have to have uncomfortable conversations where I say things to people that may piss them off. That's just part of the fucking process. Deal with it, okay? And it's not about me being a big jerk and, oh, he's so mean, he doesn't understand. It's like, my life is so hard. Oh. It's like, yeah, all our lives are hard. All of us deal with anxiety. All of us deal with depression. Like, that's a function of being a human being. What's an interesting thing to think about is that, so what I'm trying to say, and I'm meandering all over this fucking topic, and I'm really not staying linear at all, but what I'm trying to say is that the human beings that were completely at peace and happy got eaten by saber-toothed tigers. They got eliminated. Evolution killed them off because constantly being like, oh shit, what do I do next? Is a really good way to survive nature. Okay? But we're not there anymore. So, while we have these instincts of like worrying and being anxious and thinking about things a million times, those things don't help us anymore. And it is hard to stop doing those things. But one of the things that you can do, well, for starters, you can accept that you're going to do those things, okay? So there's that. The second thing you can do is you can say to yourself, I can phrase things in a way that makes them more positive. Okay? You can watch out for words. You know, there's somebody out there that likes to talk about their jerk brain. Do you think giving that part of your personality that much power and surrounding it with that big ball of negativity is doing you any good at all? No, it's not. Fucking stop doing that. Don't give it that power. Don't use words like that. Okay? And calling yourself a spaz. Do you think that is something that is productive? One, nobody else wants to hear you shitting all over yourself. It doesn't help anyone else, okay, because it's negative energy. It doesn't help you because it's just making you feel better about failing. And that's not useful, okay? So criticizing yourself, guys, just stop. Because it's a waste. It just say things that are positive about yourself, okay? Look at the people in the group, like Christina, okay? Paige, Pumpkin Pie. Like, these are people, and like some people have gone through very bad things during this period and they're still doing really well, and it's because they're sharing positive energy with other people. Okay? So it drives me nuts when people shit all over themselves and they say things about themselves that's so critical. And it's like, if you don't love yourself, if you don't love your body, and I know it's hard sometimes, there's some days when I don't love myself either, when I'm like, I'm a fucking idiot. I do it too, okay? I'm not trying to say that I'm better than you. I'm just trying to get you to see how useless it is to be like that, you know? And it drives me nuts because I want you to all be healthy and happy, and I want to push you. And that's why I'm getting worked up about this, is I'm trying to convince you that there's no point in saying those things. You know, yeah, misery desires company, but fuck misery, you know, fuck it. Just stop that stuff and stop thinking this is a hard week, because you're lying to yourself. It's got nothing to do with the situation. It's got to do with the way you choose to interpret the situation. All right? Like, I moved this week. So what? Like, it took 4 hours. Like, I mean, yeah, okay, it's crazy. Some people have a ton of shit. Me personally, I live out of a bag. I don't like clutter. I don't like extra stuff. It just slows me down. So, I mean, I don't live out of a bag, but I mean, it was pretty easy to move because basically I'm just always packed. I don't know. It's like a bug out drill or something. So, anyways, guys, that's 10 minutes of Tom. Take it or leave it. I do want you to understand that I really want everyone to do well. I'm not directing this at anyone in particular. I just went through the feed and I just kind of saw a few words that I just didn't like. And to re-emphasize, yes, we are all anxious and terrified and, unhappy creatures. And the idea that you should be happy all the time is, I don't know where the fuck that comes from, because like that is unrealistic. Some of the most annoying people I've ever met are happy all the time, and they're just phony, fake people. So being in pain and struggling is just something that we're going to do, but we've got to make conscious decisions to change our language in order to, to reframe your thoughts. That's how it goes. You can choose which thoughts you have. You can choose the words you use. And those things will begin to rewire your brain. And then they make you a happier, healthier person. A person that's able to just relax. And it's a lifetime process. It's not going to happen overnight. But it's worth doing. And yeah. All right. That's all I got. And sorry that that's all over the place. But I'm not doing it again because I probably will just screw it up even worse. As Gary Vaynerchuk says, just do your first take. All right, thanks. I love you guys. Take care.